Welcome everyone. Today the discussion will be on data types and variables. So what are the data types we have in C programming language, and finally what are the variables, what are the and also the identifier, what is an identifier, and what are the variables we actually mean. So first let us consider that if you have no idea about memory, then I would highly recommend you to watch my video on memory, and after watching that come back to this session, and now you can understand how the data type actually works and why we should consider declaring variables and what an identifier is. So in C programming we have two types of data types. First is the predefined or primary data type, and the second one is the secondary or user defined data type. The primary data type or predefined data type means, as the name suggests, predefined means it's already defined in the language itself. So at the time of designing and development of programming C programming language, Dennis Rich and Ken Thompson, both of them, they have decided to include this few sets of few types of data into the program, into the language. So these are the types that call predefined data types, that are defined previously, that are already included in the language itself. And the secondary data type means the user defined data type. As the name suggests, user will define the data type. So whatever the type of the data will be, that will be declared or defined by the user real time, on the real time. So now let us see that hierarchy of data types. C data types. So as you can see this hierarchy, the first one will be the predefined or primary data type, and this one is the user defined. Or secondary. So the C programming language, it will support to use two kinds of data. So the first one is the predefined or primary. These are the data types which are already included in the language itself, and these are also included in the language. There are also few types of user defined data types, but the data type, the actual data type, that is not known, that will be declared or defined by the user on the real time. So you can imagine this is like the container of like these are the structures, but not the actual data or the type of data that we will be working with. So this is kind of blurry, this is not clear. It is not certain what kind of data will be used. So now let us see what are those predefined or primary data types are available in our language. So first one is the int, char, float, double, finally void. So these are the 5 types of predefined or primary data types. So the C data types, that is divided into 2 types. So each of these types, they are again divided into few types or subtypes. Those subtypes are here. In this case of primary data type, we have int, char, float, double, void. So what is integer? Before knowing what is integer, you will need to recall little mathematics. That is, when we are working with the numbers, someone told us that there are a few types of numbers. Like the first one is a counting number or natural number, which starts from the 1 and 2, 3, 4, and it will be continued. So this is a natural number or counting number. Whenever you count something, you count from the 1, not from the 0. So when you count from the 1, so that is the natural number or counting number. Second one is the whole numbers. Whole numbers are the natural numbers starting from 0. So natural numbers are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4. But in case of whole numbers, you will have a 0 before the 1. So when I am talking about what are the whole numbers, so 0 is also a whole number. So it will go like that, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have integers. What are the integers? Integer is the natural numbers plus whole number. Again, the counterparts of the natural number. So it will go like this, 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, like this. So this part is the counterpart of this part. 0 is 0. There is 0 means it's null, it's void, there is nothing, it's already 0. So it's it will not make any sense to put a minus or plus behind the 0. So it's just 0. And now integers means we will be working with numbers. When we are discussing about the integer, when we will be using the integer in the program, it means we will be working with numbers which can be any number, 0 to the positive numbers or from 0 to the backwards or negative numbers. It can be anything. It can be up to minus 55,000 or like that. So still there are limits. So as I said, it can be minus 55,000 or positive 55,000. There is a limit. So that limit, what's that limit? And it's not only for integer, character, float, double, void. These are all expressed when I'm writing 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or anything, any number. Actually, this will take some size on the memory location. So when I'm okay, but for now it will be even deeper for now if I explain those things. So just forget these things for now and just remember we have 5 types of primary data types, which are integer. Integer is for integer numbers, as I show you earlier, that those numbers of the counterparts of the negative counterparts of the natural numbers or counting numbers, or also the 0, all those series of numbers, means from minus to the positive. The minus, let's say that I have minus 5 to plus 5 or positive 5. So I will have starting from minus 5 to minus 4, minus 3 to 1, and the 0 in the middle, and then the positive counterparts will start. Means the plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, or simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I will be working with such numbers where I will involve positive, also negative values or negative numbers also, then I will be using integer. So integer is a kind of number which will cover all of those numbers. Okay, now I have character. What is a character? Character means like A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, each of these letters or characters. As I discussed about the ASCII, one of my ASCII videos or encoding video, ASCII is a kind of encoding scheme, character encoding scheme, where all of those characters. So what we had in ASCII, if I remember that video, in ASCII I had English for ASCII standard version. The standard ASCII had the English alphabet A to Z or English letters. Finally we had the decimal number system, those 0 to 9 numbers, so the decimal numbers, and we had special characters. So all of these for alphabets, letters, for 0 to 9 numbers and special characters, all of these letters, numbers and characters, these are all can be known as the characters. So character is the umbrella term for letters, numbers and anything, or special characters. So these are all characters in collective term. When I'm just using one term to refer to all of these elements, that may be letter, that may be a number, or that can be a special character also. So that's a knowledge apart for ASCII. In this case, I also have A, B, C, D. So let's now do not convert it to binary. Just think simply that A, B, C, D is a collection of letters. But we will not say these are letters, because letter is, we also could have A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what these numbers will be known as? So A, B, C, D, we know these are the letters which belongs to the English alphabet, and 1, 2, 3, 4, this belongs to the decimal number system, which ranges from 0 to 9. Now either we can say these are letters, and these are characters, and also these are numbers, or these are characters. So if we have different terms for different elements, for letters, for numbers, for special characters, so we had to even define other kinds of data types. So that will make things complicated. So to make things simple, they have included only these primary data types. So integer, I said, what's integer? Character is whatever the whole thing is known as the string. String means is the collection of characters. So when I have A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, any number of characters or letters or numbers together, when they are all concatenated or joined together, like let's consider a code like 1, 2, 3, A, B, Z, 9, 2. So if you consider this thing, so 1, 2, 3, A, B, Z, 9, 2, these are all are joined together, all are sitting together. So there is no gap or space. So there could be spaces also, but for now just let's think that we do not have any space. So this is actually a string, because string means the collection of characters. So we have we can also single quote like this, as I did for this case. So this will be the whole thing will be known as the string, and the collective, the individual terms, not when they are seen individually, when they are not seen wholly in whole. When this all these characters are not seen in whole, means we are just seeing them or referring them individually, means I'm not seeing the ABCD 1, 2, 3, 4 or the total thing. When I will be seeing the total thing, then I will say this is a string, means the collection of characters. But when I'm just considering, or when I'm just referring to these elements, or simply numbers, whatever there is, it could be number or letters, whatever it is, we will simply say these are the characters. We will use the universal term for any element. So these are the elements. What is an element, you will know when I will be teaching you the array. In the array part, in the array topic, you will know that what is an element. But for now, just let us think that the collection of letters or numbers, or the special characters, which are actually characters. The umbrella term is means the one term that goes for all of these three elements. This could be numbers, or this could be letters, or the special characters. Whatever it is, we will be referring to them as this is a character. So A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are all characters. And when I'm just saying character, means I'm just referring to these elements individually, referring to these characters, or character is an individual thing, because there is no concept of string in C language. If you want to implement the string concept, then you will have to take character array. Array is the collection of elements. So when, let's say, you have A, or you have B, or you have 1 or 2. So if you want to make A1, so you are actually making up a string using these two characters. One is A, the another one is 1. So when you are joining or when you are making them sit together, A and just making a collection of A and 1, you are actually making a string. So you have no concept of string in C, but C tells you that when there are multiple characters sitting together, then it will be known as the string. So string, as per the definition, string means the collection of characters. So here we already have a collection of characters because we have A and 1. This could be B also. Whatever there is, I said already, this will be referred to as character. So now we will have to take a character array. Character array means the collection of elements. So already have the collection of element or collection of characters. So I using the character array. What is character array? I will tell you in different session. But you have a way. Just to think that there is a way to make strings in C. Now let us see what is float. So as I told you, what is an integer? There is after the integer, there could be other types of numbers. Like I told you about 1, 2, 3, 4 means those positive numbers, 0 in the middle, and the negative counterparts of those counting numbers means 1, 2, 3, 4. But what if there is 1.2 or 3.5 or something with a decimal point? If there is a decimal point, means actually that number can be expressed as a fraction. So any number in this world, any number which can be expressed as a fraction, that will be known as the rational number. So what are the rational numbers? These are the rational numbers. Rational numbers are any numbers that can be expressed as a fraction. Fraction means what? Fraction means A by B, provided that B is not equals to 0. If B is 0, then you cannot divide something with the 0. So this will be undefined or error, simply an error. In case of programming, this will give you an error. In case of mathematics, this will say that this is undefined. So in case of programming, there is no such thing as undefined, so this will give you an error. Now A by B, B not equals to 0. So I cannot put any number in the denominator which will be 0. So the denominator cannot be 0. So this is a rule for the rational number. Any number you think. Any number. That can be, if I am talking about 1, 1 by 1 is 1. 2 by 1 is also 2. So 2 is a number which was a counting number or natural number. 2 is also a whole number, because in the range of whole number 2 comes, because whole number, those numbers are starting from 0 to any counting number. So 2 sits in the range. And now integers also have the positive number 0 in the middle and the negative counterparts. So this is a positive number, but we can say that this is an integer. So now we also understand 2 can also be said this is an integer. Is it a rational number or fractional number? Yes, it is a fractional rational number, because this number 2 can be expressed as a fraction of 2 integers. Fraction means what? Fraction means A by B. So this A by B means fraction. So A by B, I can also write as I did 2 by 1 equals to 2. The number doesn't change, number stays the same, number is not changing. Number after doing this also, after dividing 2 by 1, actually I am expressing the 2 as the fraction of 2 integers. You can see 2 and 1, both of them, they are integers. So I am expressing 2 as the fraction of 2 integers. Finally, if I am talking about C, if I have C, okay, now I have, let's say I have 3 here. This is a whole number, this is an integer also, but is this a rational number? Okay, you can divide 3 by 1, the number will remain same, still we have 3. So we can say, as per the definition, rational numbers are those numbers which can be expressed as a fraction. As a fraction means 1 by 3, 3 by 4, means we have used up 3 out of 4. You have 4 blocks, so 3 by 4 means I have used up 3, 1 is remaining, 4. I have completed 3 out of 4, or I have attended 3 questions out of 4. So things like that. These are all fractions, 1 by 3, 3 by 4. If you actually perform the division, the answer will be in decimal point. So there will be a decimal point. Again, if I do not perform the division, if I keep it as it is, then this will be 3 by 4. So this is the thing. Any number that can be expressed as a fraction of 2 integers. So these are basically integers. So I'm expressing the 3 as the fraction of 2 integers. So we can say these are rational numbers. So why we should know these things? Why these things are related with the float? Float means the rational numbers. Float itself, it means the floating numbers with floating point. It means all of those numbers which are actually rational numbers. Simply put, float, you do not need to worry about float. The term float means it is talking about the C programming language is offering you a way or a keyword to work with rational numbers. So if you have 3.4 or any number with decimal point or things like that, 1 by 3, 3 by 4, if you divide that after performing the division operation, you will get the answer in point. So those are the numbers which are rational numbers, and also the floating numbers or numbers with floating point. So to make use of those numbers, we will be using the float keyword. So these are all keywords, right? What are the keywords? Keywords are the reserved words which cannot be used otherwise. Means when identifiers, what are identifiers? Identifiers are the name. When I will show you how to work with identifiers. Let's say we are human beings, but we also have some name. So these names are identifiers by which you identify someone. We have 3 persons in the room, so they are all human beings, they are all humans. So if you want to identify one of them, you should know their names. So they will be identified their names. This identifier can be any word as per the rules, because declaring identifier also have some rules defined by the C programming language. You cannot just write anything. So you cannot name anything. Just means you cannot put any kind of name. There is also a rules or limitation to do the naming. That is well defined by the language itself. So we also know int, char, float. We are done with these 3 types. Now we have double. So what is double? Float and double both are same. Little difference is there, that is float and double, both of them, they work with the floating numbers or those rational numbers or numbers which can be expressed as a fraction of 2 integers or those numbers with decimal points. Double does the same thing but in different The only difference between float and double is it will have more storage. What is that? I will tell you later. Just for now, just know that float and double both are same thing. But double means, as the name suggests, float, the space being occupied by the float. Whenever we are declaring some variable, it will take some place in the memory location. So memory location means those memory cells in the memory module. So they will also have those memory cells are the cells of the memory. So they will have some capacity. If I have a memory like this, if I have 10 cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I have 10 cells, so if I am using this cell, means its value is 1 out of 10. Whatever the unit is, bit, bytes, KB, MB, GB, whatever. I have 10 cells, I have used up only 1 out of 10. So I have used it. Now, if let's say I am declaring a variable with float. Float is the keyword. So our C language is offering us 32 keywords. All of these 32 keywords, float, char, int, double void, these are all keywords. And these belong to those 32 keywords. Now let's say float is taking only 4 bytes in the memory. In this case, just consider each of these cells are of 1 bytes. So this is in total of 10 bytes of memory. So it's just using 4 bytes. I have used up these 4 bytes. So these are occupied. If I use double, as the name suggests, the keyword itself means that it will take the double size of the float. So it will take more 4 cells, another 4 cells. So now we are only left with 2 cells. So when working with float, we will have 4 bytes. After using double, we have used up 8 bytes in the memory. So when working with small fractional numbers or numbers with small short numbers, let's say these are now 1.2, it's a rational number but short. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 8, 8, 8, 8. It's kind of number which is long, but also it's also a rational number. So in these cases, we will be using double because it will take more place. You cannot fit this thing into float because float will give you only 4 bytes. So if you want to understand this thing, how this memory allocation works, so that is like for each of the data types, there is a predefined size. Means integer will take, for modern compilers, it will take 4 bytes. Char will always take 1 bytes. Float will take 4 bytes. Double will take 8 bytes. In some compilers, there is also a support for long data type, long, long. That will be similar like the integer. That will also store integer data type, but of double size, like the double keyword. Then it will, if you use long, but not supported by all of those compilers. But these are the standard data types. It's good to avoid long. But in few cases, and with the support of the proper compiler, the compiler that supports long, you can definitely use long. That will let you hold 8 bytes. Okay, for now, void is what? Void means nothing, null or zero. When we are working with functions and data types which holds nothing, so void is the data type which holds nothing, which is actually nothing, with zero or null. There is nothing we are talking about. Void itself is void, in nothing. of, can say null or zero or nothing.